some of the influencers in my very, very formative years will be the likes of Paul Kalenga and the late Chiwameni.
Top of the morning to you. Looking at our Royal Hustler this morning, as I mentioned, Mr. Edwin Tjiramba, who is leading the marketing and stakeholder engagement team at the Government Institution Pension Fund, GIPF, for those who don't know, with 24 years of work experience and qualifications such as an LLB, a BURIS, MA in Corporate Communications, a BA Communications, with a specialization in public relations. Tjiramba has a proven track record at as being one of the greatest gems at the GIPF, at the fund. Good morning, Mr. Edwin. Thank you so much for joining us. We really are excited to be having you in studio with us and essentially just getting to hear your story.
Good morning and thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Now, let's quickly find out. Let's take it back a bit. When you were a young boy, were you a hair raiser? Tell us a bit about your childhood. What happened? How did that shape the man that you are this morning?
I'm all in and out a village boy. I was born many moons ago in a small village in the Omaheke region, Arminius constituency. And my call to fame in that I was born in the same village with the late chief of the Ovaherero, Koimari Rwako. So we were born in the same village. So I grew up basically, at the time you would not think there was anything to eat. Growing in a village, tending to goats and sheep and running amok along the bushes, and one of eight kids, right in the middle, raised by a very strong single mother. I remember the very formative years being in primary school, and when you get in trouble, the next kid will say, don't touch me, I'll go call my father, and then you will say, oh, but you have not met my mother. Yeah, so that type of thing. So basically, very humble beginnings in Arminius, and went to primary school there, and yeah.
When you're running the dusty streets of Aminus, what was your biggest dream when you were growing up? What was that thing that you said to yourself, you know what? I'm going to do this.
I have to be honest, growing up in Arminius, your horizon went as far as only the people you could see that has achieved anything. And at that time, it was really teachers. I didn't have a teacher in my own immediate family, but I think my very formative years, I was very much inspired by teachers. And so I thought I would always be, I did not even think I would be a teacher, but I thought when I grew up I would be a principal. So not even knowing that you had to be a teacher first to be a principal, because I know it's just somebody who commanded a lot of respect. And around the time we were growing up, a teacher was a teacher 24/7. They always wore a tie, they wore a white shirt. Even when there is a little squabble in the community, they will be called to be the intermediary. So I really, my eyes were set on teaching. And then it will only change when I went to high school, and wanting to be a lawyer came into the picture and all of that. But initially I thought I would be a teacher.
Right.
And actually after high school I taught for about a year.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, but then I knew this is not
for me.
This is not for me.
So talking about that part of your life, when you were in high school, you started teaching. What other influences or early influences did you have along the way?
Some of the influencers in my very formative years will be the likes of Paul Kalenga and the late Chiwameni. And this was, I know if I give you those years, definitely I'll give my age away. But this was around the early 80s, the mid 80s, between 84 and 85. 84 to 88, these were the years that I was in high school. So there you have it. And at the time, I think they were studying in SA. So for us, at the time, going to a school that I think have really molded my life, which is the Martin Luther High School, some 70 kilometers out of Maruru, very near Okombaye. So very, very diverse school. I mean, where you met everybody under the sun at that church school, where we learned that ethnicity is nothing. Being from this or that tribe does not mean anything.
Right.
And you became one. So those were really my influencers. And I remember very, very well at a time that I had to apply for a scholarship to study in the States, you had to get some type of reference letter from a lot of people. And the first one, the one I got from the late Chiwameni, it was handwritten.
Wow.
And I've kept it to this day. So maybe one of these days I will share it with my very good friend Lois Chiwameni.
No, you should.
But I've kept that letter.
Okay.
And everything he wrote, you know, it's not when you ask somebody for a reference letter and they will go and basically go to the computer and
get a template. Yeah.
He wrote it almost a whole full page.
Right.
You know, and for me, I thought these are people who held our hands. And,
yes.
So those are the people who got us into early youth politics. Those are the people who got us into activism and understanding that we had a greater calling than just being kids. And that shaped my life.
Oh, man, having such beautiful influences and people to look up to, but more than that, just having them believe in you must have been one heck of an experience for you.
It was.
We are going to continue this conversation with Edwin in just a hot second, but first, let's go to the music. 99 FM, your inspiration station, John Batista, Freedom. 8 minutes to 8 o'clock. We still continue our conversation this morning with Edwin Tjiramba, who is our royal hustler. And he was just telling us about his life, man, early influences. And I'm sitting here in awe. This is definitely a man that deserves his flowers today. A man that hopefully he's changing the world. And Namibia being that world, that is. Edwin, you know, when your feet hit the ground in the morning, what sets your heart on fire?
You know, I keep a to-do list by my bed. And it has gone from being pen and paper to now going to my notes on my iPhone. So that's the first thing I will do I wake up at 5 every morning. And typically I will hit the gym or go for a walk. That changes during winter. So basically I use that time to read and to really plan my day. To go through that to-do list and make sure I tick off what was done yesterday and what is carried over to the next day. And my plan is always never have more than 3 items carried over to the next day, because then you will not get done what you need to do. So basically that's, my work keeps me going, and then definitely my wife and kids and the extended family. So my boy will always bring that first cup of coffee at 5 when he wakes up. So that's the way we connect, me and him, and we bond. So that's what get me through a good morning.
A good morning.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, and it's very unfortunate that our conversation has to end. If the young people or anybody listening to us right now, what life and career advice would you give them? And just, you know, something that you think is very important for them to help guide them on this journey called life.
I think young people of today would not make it through this life if they don't have any passion for anything. If they have a passion for what they want to do and to set their mind to it, it does not matter what it is. And it does not matter what career it is, but if you do it with a passion and if you do it with a plan, they will definitely succeed at it. A lot of kids, and I spent about 18 years at the University of Namibia as a senior administrator, and we will find kids who will come. The ones who come knowing what they want to study and what they want to do, they will hustle. They will not have any hustle.
Right.
But for those who come and find their way, spend a year changing majors and minors, they eventually do it because it's also a time to find yourself.
True.
But basically, have a passion for life, have a passion for what you want to become, and set your eyes on that goal.
There we go.
And then it can be achieved.
There we go. Edwin, thank you so much for your time. We are definitely going to make it a point to get you back here again because we absolutely love your story. When I say we, I mean Sibo and I. Mos. There we go. Edwin, have a fantastic day. And keep on doing the things, man.
Thank you. This was a good start of my morning.
There we go.
All right.
That was Edwin Tjiramba, who is leading the marketing and stakeholder engagement team at the Government Institution Pension Fund, saying passion, passion, and more passion. Do it with passion and do it with a plan. That was a Royal Hustler for this morning. Let's get it.
Royal Hustlers was proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corporation.